radio. Joy 99.7.
A different identity, something that belongs to me, something that I understand, and something that I can actually answer for. So that's why I chose Perez.
What does it mean?
It means breakthrough.
I thought it was a church.
No.
There's a Perez dome somewhere, Jolu.
I know, but I was actually using the name Perez before they.
So did they come and pay royalty?
Oh no, it's a biblical name. It's in the Bible. It's the book of Genesis. There's a whole story behind that.
Okay.
So
some of us read the Bible.
Yeah.
So the story of a twin, like of twins, right?
Yeah.
So during childbirth, the elderly one came out first, but he came out in the wrong way. He brought his hand first.
Okay.
So the nurses tied his hand with a red ribbon, and they pushed him back, hoping to position him properly and bring him out. But when they pushed him back and they were doing the position, and for whatever reason, the younger one found a way to push the older one back, and he came forward. And he came out. So the nurses was like, this is a breach of birth, or this is a breakthrough, and that's what it means in the Hebrew language, Perez. So they just named him Perez. So when I read the story, I was at a point in my life where I felt like, you know what, Charlie, I have delayed on a lot of things. Places where I should be conquering at a certain stage, I was behind. So I needed some form of constant prophecy over my life, because I believe in the power of names. So I believe that anytime somebody's calling me Perez, you're actually pushing me to breakthrough, like you're professing breakthrough over my life. So that's why I chose the name.
Then
why
didn't you choose Samson or David? Or...
Oh no, I'm not fighting anybody.
But David is not fighting either.
I'm not fighting anybody. I chose Perez for that reason, because I actually needed a breakthrough in my life.
Or Solomon.
No, I beg. I don't want a lot of wives. Bring another name.
Even Adam.
I beg.
You're not.
I don't want to be blamed for the woes of men.
Very, very interesting. Frank, welcome to the studios of Joy 99.7 FM.
George.
And congratulations on Hiwalelala.
Thank you. I mean, I always say that I can't take the glory alone. It's just God.
What inspired it?
Life situations. I mean, I have been through a couple of stuff growing up as a young man. I mean, I had made a lot of wrong decisions. I always say that some of us, we were not fortunate. We didn't have uncles and maybe strict aunties and stuff who had lived life to some extent that they can actually guide you that do this, don't do that. Some of us, we had to make mistakes and correct them by ourselves. So we learn. The good things we learn, we keep. The bad things we learn, and then we have to unlearn them. So it makes the whole walk a struggle. And the best thing that happened to me was when I decided to give my life to Christ, or when I decided to confidently say that, you know what, I'm a Christian and I'm going all out for it. I mean, people called me names because when they see what I can do and the talent I have, they're like, why are you doing gospel? You should do some kind of music. I'm like, no, I know what it does for me. I know where God took me from, and I know how far He has brought me. And every day, day in, day out, He shows Himself. And this song is just one amazing way of Him telling me that, listen, I'm with you. So
you've how do I put this? From what you're saying, I can see you've been through some rough patches in life.
Oh yes.
Anything you'd like to share to inspire somebody out there?
The only thing
what are some of the things that you have done that you think you were in a bad place?
I have struggled with addiction.
Addiction to what?
To alcohol, to nicotine.
Wow.
I never really did. I don't do weed or drugs or any like hard drugs. But I mean, you know, smoking is just a bad habit. You know, it's not like it's a bad habit that can harm you later in future. So, I struggled with it for so many years, and it's been a battle, but I just thank God for the grace upon my life, because every time He finds a way to like pull me out of the mud. Yeah, so yeah. And the only thing I can tell anybody going through something out there is, you know what? The most important thing is to stay alive.
Tell us about your growing up. Well, I mean, where did you grow up? Your
So, I mean-
parents, what kind of home were you in?
I'm a
Education?
typical Abosokan boy. I grew
Oh.
up in Abosokan, and I grew up in an area where you can easily drift. I mean, everything you need to be a bad boy is around you, and it's not like my mom was home 24/7 or I was in a gated house that you wouldn't go. No, there was freedom. Especially when you're on vacation, you wake up in the morning, you eat your breakfast. Where you go, nobody cares. You go you
Wow.
can come back in the afternoon around 1 o'clock, come and eat your lunch. You go make sure, the only thing is make sure that by 7 p.m. you are in the house, and you have to get home before my mom comes back from the market. My mom used to be at Mokola. She's a trader, so you can go and work. So I had the opportunity to be everything everything negative that a child can become. I mean, but there was always this thing that put this hold on me. It's like you're going and the thing pulls you back. Listen, you can't go this far, you can't go this deep. So I go back to the hood and I see some of the people I grew up with, and I always say that, Charlie, I could have easily been this person. Recently I was working around Nima,
Yeah.
and I actually saw one of my guys. He has actually gone mad.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was working on the street, and like I just knew that, listen, where you are now and where the guy is just a thin line. It's just some thin line.
It
It's
could
just-
easily have been you.
Yeah, it's just some thin line. It's just the grace of God, People say that choices. Sometimes I don't even. Charlie, people have made the right choices and they are still going through a lot of hard time. It's not a matter of choice. It's a matter of grace. It's a matter of grace. Trust, Charlie. I don't know. People
Wow.
have made good choices that have ended them in a bad situation. You understand?
You're a sound engineer.
Yes, I'm a video.
Tell us
editor,
about
I'm a
your
producer.
exposure to music. If you were growing up in, I've been to your place at Abusokan before, long before you moved.
Yeah.
You've forgotten.
Hey, wow, really, really, yeah, it's true. That's true.
You
Wow.
remember now?
That's like 12 years ago.
Yes, that's a very long time ago.
Wow.
I have been there, and I agree with you when you say, this is like ghetto. I mean,
Yeah,
that kind of
everything.
place, And I mean, how did you manage to become what you are? At which point did you encounter Christ? At which point did you get exposed to music?
I have always loved music. See, my mom used to have this small cassette player.
Yeah.
And she loves music too, but she used to buy a lot of gospel cassettes. So what I'll do is I'll take the gospel cassette, and when nobody's watching, like the old ones that she stopped listening to, I'll go and take it. And then when Billy Ocean comes on
You go and wipe
radio and he's mixing,
Doing his
I'll
mixing.
record. I'll record it, and then I will listen to it because I like this, like the whole, because my house was only gospel that my mom was playing. When I got hooked on to hip life, it was like a new sound to me. I got excited. Like I could listen to Billy Ocean from 12 to 6 p.m. on Sundays.
Wow.
And then during weekdays too, like constantly. So I've always loved music, even when I was growing up. My mom knew that I loved music, but she just didn't want me to do music. So anything music, she prevented me from doing it. What was the second question again?
How you manage to I like where you're going. Let's forget the second one. We'll come to it later. So if mom prevented you constantly, how are you here?
Why am I here? I
How?
think
Not even why. How?
It's just, it's in me. It's something that is in me. See, George, let me be very honest with you. When I was growing up, I didn't see myself doing anything apart from music. Like the first time I heard music, or the first time I got like hooked onto music, and I could listen to sound, and my mind is just wandering. I'm just thinking how they put this together, how this instrument is playing here. Like I ask a lot of questions in my mind, and there was nobody to answer them for me, because of like in my house nobody was really pursuing music, and I wasn't that exposed to, so there was nobody to answer those questions for me, so I had to sort it out myself. So I spent so many years of my time being a sound engineer because I liked it.
How?
I trained myself. And
How?
then later on, after SHS, I realized that there was a school called, I wanted to do sound engineering. I was thinking of going to Full Sail in the States, or there was this school in New York called Audio Master Class, but Sikanoe. So I think my old man was reading graphic, and then he saw Nafty's advertisement there.
Admissions.
And so he brought it, and they said film sound production. I didn't even know what it meant, but the moment I saw sound there, I knew that, okay, no, Charlie, this has to do with sound engineering. So I just chose and I
Upright.
went. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I learned a lot of things being in NAFTI. I made friends. I also learned new craft. I learned directing, a bit of directing, producing, and then editing. And funny enough, that's what I'm surviving on now.
Editing.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm
Yes.
using. I mean,
Well, why are you laughing?
no, nothing. I know you want to say things, but it's okay.
Oh no, no. Listeners, well, Frank Tego and I. Oh, Uncle Ken, you're welcome. Good afternoon. Yes, yes, yes.
I haven't seen
Amel.
In a while.
Yes,
in
yes,
ages.
yes, yes, yes,
Jesus Christ.
yes.
So good to see him.
And your son Frank Tego is here. Perez Music.
Yes.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Yes. What a lot of people do not know is that Frank and I sat in the same office for a number of years.
Yeah.
Yes, he was an
Charter
editor at Charter House.
Yeah.
Yes, he was an editor at Charter House. Very, very talented at that. You know, editor. You know, when you have an editor who understands sound, his works are different. Yeah, and that's the kind of talent this young man has.
It's a bonus.
Yes, it's a bonus. It's always a bonus. Because, you know, usually there are two different disciplines.
Yeah. Yes.
So when you're able to combine them all, your work always stands out. And his work always stood out. I have been privileged to sit in the same office with, he's the second musician editor I've sat in an office with. First one was Miss Bell.
Miss Bell.
Okay.
Yes,
yes.
Miss Bell and I sat in the same office at Village Communications. She's also an editor.
She's an editor.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know
Yes,
that.
yes.
about
She's
her.
also an editor. Very talented editor too, you know, just like Perez. So
Sexy editor.
yeah,
You needed to throw that in there.
it is important. So you learned editing at NAFTI.
Yeah. I didn't go to NAFTI to learn editing. There was
Okay.
this lady called Ajapra.
Yes, I know Adrapra.
Ajapra just saw me and he told me point blank that God has told her to groom me because I was very rough. I mean, yes, I was so kind boy. I dress anyhow. I didn't really care, you know. Yeah, I do what I have to do and I move on. But I don't know why she took an interest in me, and she really dedicated and spent a lot of time on me.
On you.
She had private classes with me and taught me editing
Wow.
at no cost.
Wow.
Yeah, at no cost. And when I was in level 100, she wasn't even somebody I was talking to.
Yeah.
I didn't think I ever greeted her until I got to level 200 and it was like, listen, God says I should groom you. And she did a very good job at that. Like, I mean, a lot of my gentlemanness that I have now was because I was with her. And she was prim and proper. So she will smack you around her hair, Frank. So I learned, and I really appreciate
Yeah?
it. I don't take it for
Frank, and there
granted.
were no traits of any ulterior motives
God
during
forbid.
the training session.
No, God forbid. God forbid. Not at all.
Nice one.
Not at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
Was
now,
truly God sent.
your
Yeah.
so what's your main
Insecurity.
preoccupation now? Editing or the music?
Now I'm going full time into the music. I mean, this is what I've always wanted to do.
Okay.
This always like, and I have some ideas I really want to experiment with and put out there, and I believe strongly that they are going to work. And then secondly, because of the opportunities that I didn't get, I want to create an avenue for young boys, because I realize that everybody's focusing on the girl child now. I want to create an avenue for young boys that they can also, you know, you don't need to make a lot of mistakes and waste a lot of time when you're coming up. If I'm able to connect young boys to people like you, to people like Ajete Anna, to people like Amea, and they're able to find a way to inspire and groom them as they are growing up, I mean, it will help society in the long run, and it will also help the young boys in the long run. I know some will trickle down to young girls too, because when I plan on going to schools and stuff, which I've already started. When I go to the schools, I can't just separate the boys and leave the girls, but my focus is actually to help, because I know what I went through, and I knew how, like, how I almost got there.
Wayward.
I almost got wayward, and how I came back. So sometimes I understand. You can see somebody in school who is very brilliant, and then after JSS, you see him somewhere. You're like, Charlie, but what happened to you? Sometimes it's just a little guidance. You know, don't do this, do this. You know, somebody to inspire. Like, the person needs to see something or hear someone or encounter somebody. Just that can change the person's life forever. So I just want to create that kind of hub, and I want to focus on that too. In addition to the music that I'm
Let
doing.
us speak about the God factor. That was the second part of my question. How did God appear in all this? I mean, to shape your life and the gospel and everything. How?
That man, sometimes I don't know. I don't know if I should even call him a man. I don't know what I have done. I don't know why he loves me so much. Because, George, I'm not supposed to be here. Like I always say, I'm not supposed to be here. It's just by favor. One day, like we go to club. This time we used to go to club. We can when we close from GH1 on Friday. Sometimes I even come to work on Monday without even going home.
I know.
Because we go and chill, and then yeah. So, but one Friday we went, Saturday. So I got back home on Sunday, and I don't know. I woke up and I told my mom that when you guys are going to church, they have some afternoon service. When you guys are going to church this afternoon, I'll go with you. They were shocked because it was unusual. You go, I was like, okay. They thought I was playing. Church starts around 5, but around 3 o'clock I went there. I was like, are you guys not going to go to church? They were like, oh, we'll go. When I went, they were eating, so they washed their hands immediately. It wasn't even time. Oh. They washed their hands. They said, oh, let's go. And then they just washed their hands and then we went. So we walked from the house to the church. We went there. It wasn't even a church. It was a fellowship at a school park. So we went there. We were sitting down. I don't even know what I was doing there. I even think that even after that day, I went to go and I went to drink. I went out to my friends even after that service. But you see, that service put a certain seed in me. And I went the first time. I went the second time. So the second time they were praying and I told God that, you know what? I sense that you are around me and you want me to do something for you. If truly you want me to work for you, all these ministers standing there, let them lay their hands on me and pray for me. George, it didn't take 5 minutes. After I prayed the prayer, the lady just called me. She said, come and stand here. And then she called the minister standing there that they should lay their hands on me.
Wow.
And I was shocked. Like I was shocked. And then they prayed for me when everybody had left. And then this lady started praying for me. And she touched my groin. And then it was as if somebody had put their hands in my lungs and they were pulling my lungs out. I started throwing up. Like my whole, like this upper part of my body, it felt pressured. And I was throwing up. So when I opened my eyes, I realized I was a lot of flames and blood. And she told me that God has just delivered me from a certain disease. And that I should give my life to him and serve him. And I said, oh, me self attire. I'm not going to go anywhere again. So that's where the journey began. But it hasn't been a smooth journey either. It has been rough. It has been ups and downs.
Naturally.
But I have tried my best to stay as consistent and as focused as I can. Yeah.
Well done. It's been a journey.
Thank you.
I mean, I know you. So, I mean, there are other things that we will not speak about on radio.
I beg you.
At another part of the journey, then we'll speak about those other ones.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Uncle Ken, Amaya, I mean, Perez is here if you have anything. And listeners, it's 055 1111997. Yes, Uncle Ken.
I posed the question I did a few minutes ago for a reason.
Yeah.
Because I asked him whether there were no ulterior
motives
from the lady doing, because I just wanted to hammer on the point that there are people like that who take interest in others for the mere sake that, like he said, maybe something has asked them to deal with that person for a better cause, and not because they are interested in any other thing. Because you see, people will find it strange that a woman will take an interest in you. Yeah. And let me ask, was she married?
Yeah, she was.
And that's even that saves the problem, because then her husband understood what she was doing with you as well, you know. So there are good people on this earth, you know.
Yeah, and I think after me, there were other people. There are other young people who have been through NAFTI that they can actually testify about
Miss Pra. Yeah.
Kudos to her. And I'm saying that you've done wonderful.
Thank you very much, sir.
And, you know, your story, some people don't believe these stories when they are told. Sometimes, you know. They take some of these stories with a pinch of salt, you know. And they say so many things. But from George giving testimony as to how he knows you before you became who you are today, I can believe the story, you know. And I'm just grateful that you took your opportunity. And you're sorry. Keep sorry.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Mr. Deborah.
Yeah, for me, I think I would just say I'm proud. I mean, I've observed him from afar. I think it happened with me just seeing one video at a point, and I was like, this is
2015.
good. Yeah, and then I shared it and people reacted to it. And for him to have been persistent and not giving up to now having #1 on Joy chart, and performing on big stages. I think it's a good story, and I'm happy you stuck to it and have come this far.
Thank you.
What was the very first song you worked on?
The very first song I released, that one, we had a story. So I had a studio. The studio you came to.
Yes, the
actually
one
caught fire.
I was okay. Oh, you're joking. You never told me this
Yeah,
one.
it caught fire. It caught fire on the 24th of December 2012.
Wow.
Yes. So, I mean, I think that was the beginning of my transformation.
Okay.
Let me tell you a funny story about that studio catching fire. I went to do some work with Anita Eskin way back. We worked on Fashion 101.
Yeah.
So she paid me. And when she paid me, I said I was going to use the money to go and buy studio equipment. And I heard a voice clearly tell me that, go and sow that money as a seed in church. That time I was not a church goer. So I was asking myself, which church? I've worked hard. Why should I take it to church? I wouldn't do it.
Give it to some pastor.
So I went to Accra. I remember the shop I entered into. I was going to buy studio equipment. And as soon as I entered the shop, I heard a voice and it was clear. It said that, so these equipment you are going to buy, if fire falls in it and it burns right now, what will you do? I ignored the voice. I bought the equipment. Less than 3 months, the studio got burnt.
Wow.
Everything got burnt in the studio.
Wow.
Everything got burnt. So
Was it insured?
what? No, it wasn't. It wasn't insured.
no.
We didn't
Uncle
understand-
Ken, where that studio was, if you are an insurance person and they take you,
No,
then you
if he
insure
comes,
it.
no, if he
Not that you won't insure it.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
George knew the
Oh,
place,
I
so
knew
yeah.
the place, but because
Yeah.
it was all some wooden structure in some corner. Charlie,
George knew the place.
you won't
Yeah.
you won't insure it. Because,
So
yeah, go ahead.
So like the place got burnt, and I had a friend. Let me say, I had a girlfriend back then. So I think she gave me $200 or so. So I went back to another. I went to Virtual Sounds, and I bought a microphone. I bought a new sound card, and then some second-hand
Mixer.
machine.
Okay.
And I told my friends that I'm not recording secular songs again. I'm
That's
doing
right.
gospel. Because I've been stubborn and I've lost everything. So if I'm starting again, this is what I'm sticking. They thought I was joking. They didn't understand. So now I realized that they all started falling off. They were not coming to my place again. And the first song I recorded with that setup was a song titled Baba God We Thank You. Yeah, it was an old when I listened to that song. And I think the first person I made listen to that song was Nia Ite.
Yeah, Hammond.
Nia Ite Hammond.
Yeah.
That he has also been a very great blessing in my life. Like and then I think he made them play the song on Peace FM way back then. The sound quality was poor. It was some way, but I was like, you know what? Put this song out there. I heard a voice say, "Put this song out there. I don't mind how it is. Put it out there." It wasn't the best of songs, but it encouraged me, and then it gave me the confidence to know that, listen, you have something. It might not be perfect, but work at it. You get there. So that's what I've been doing since. So Baba God was my first song.
Baba God was the first song. At which point did you release this one?
It's Showbiz A to Z.
This one along the Baba God time.
Yeah.
So Nia Ite Hammond gave it to Kewa.
Yeah.
So this was actually
This was
reworked
Kewa's
done by Kewa. Yeah.
mix.
Yeah,
Okay.
this was Kewa's mix. Yes.
So this is one of the first one.
Yeah, but it's about 2015, 2016.
Yeah. Oh, are you surprised we have it? This is Joy FM. We have every song.
2012. Hey, I don't remember, but it's a long time.
Yeah,
I'll
it's a
check on
good
Google.
one. It's a good one.
Yes,
it's a good
thank
one.
you.
It's a very, good
very
one.
good songs.
Yeah, very good one.
Very strong in instrumentation.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes, and I think that's one of his pluses.
Yes, I was just going to say to him, I just love his instrumentation.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
sir.
You know, I mean, if your song lacks instrumentation, doesn't
Do anything for you.
do anything for me. I love instrumentation.
Thank you.
And he's very good with strings. You see.
Yeah.
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 And for what he sings, he needs that
Yes, sir.
to make the song sound richer.
Thank you
and
very
his
much,
songs are rich. Yeah.
Hey Walelala was played live.
Yeah, live. We recorded it live.
So now you have a team that you work with.
Great by the grace of God, gracefully so.
Is it expensive keeping them together?
It is, but I thank God for the kind of people I have. They don't really stress me or put pressure on me. They understand where we are going. They understand the journey. So whatever we get, we share.
Well, where you they look like some dadabi. I mean, have you seen this crew before? Charlie, they came to perform at my dad's funeral, and my big sister was like, "Hey, Nyama, ni bluffo menen la galala ne." You see them on the stage. You know when people look dadabi, you see them. You just see his keyboardist, some guy with some glasses.
Yeah.
Charlie, where did you find them?
Church.
Oh, okay.
Most of them are in my church, like, but not in my branch.
Okay.
Most of them are in the main church. So, and most of them are like my band like this. They are fully employed in the church. So
Okay.
when they are free, they come and help me
Okay.
do my stuff. But they've really, I mean, it brought a turnaround. Like they brought a turnaround in my music, the sound, the ministry as a whole. And I'm very grateful for each and every one of them, especially my producer Spunky. Actually, he was at my studio this afternoon.
Okay.
He just left and I had to come here. So
Are you making money from music?
not yet.
You are not making money?
No.
How?
But George,
Is everywhere.
But George, you know this thing.
Yeah, maybe things have changed.
Why do you think when I saw the book you posted, I was very eager to read or listen to the audiobook. Yeah. You know how this thing works.
He
It
will
takes a
make
lot
money.
of patience. Yeah,
He will.
it takes a lot of patience. So
He will. But you see, George,
Uncle Ken.
you asked him about his crew,
Yeah.
and he told you he found them in church.
Yes.
You see, that's one thing I have noticed about the life of musicians, actual musicians. I mean, people who play instruments.
Yeah.
They get their tuition from the church.
yes,
And that's one good thing the church is giving to the people. And I was also happy he added that they are fully employed by the church, which is what should happen.
yeah,
Because, you know, it takes time to perfect whatever instrument you're good at,
Yeah.
you know. And it's a good thing the church are giving the people the chance, but they should take care of them.
Very
Very
much
true.
so.
Very true. So, do you go around performing in churches?
yes, I do.
Do they pay? Or they give you a handshake?
George, this matter.
Or meat pie.
Yeah, I'll meet my drink.
and drink. Some people are generous enough. I was in a church yesterday, and Reverend Emmanuel Temda, I mean, he booked a hotel for us. He's in Tema.
Okay.
So when we're coming, he booked a hotel for me. I went with one of my assistants. We slept there, and the next day when we're coming, he gave us something substantial for transportation. But it's not something that you can say that you are performing in church. You are banking your whole life on the fact that you perform in church, because you'll be disappointed at some other places. So it's not something that you can say that this is what I'm living for. Maybe not now, but very soon.
Very soon. What has been your worst encounter in the music space so far? Worst encounter?
Okay, so you remember those times when I was at Charterhouse?
Yeah.
That I'll do my songs and things I'll be playing for people. And let me take, like, you know that there was everything and everybody around you who could help you push your music, but nobody was minding you. And it was very painful.
Yeah.
But then when I got to this stage, I realized that, oh, okay, I wasn't ready.
Exactly.
I was not ready. And I understood. I remember sometime I played some song for you in your car, and you spoke about mastering.
Yeah.
I was doing sound then, but I didn't understand it.
I remember.
I didn't understand it. But when I see how, because now the same people I knew back then are now supporting me in a way, because I feel that I have grown. I have gotten to where that I'm supposed to get to. Because at that time, if they had pushed me,
You would have fallen.
I would have fallen. I would have fallen straight up. Like, they will raise you high and then there'll be nothing to sustain you. But now, like, I mean, somebody actually said that I got to perform on the VGMA stage because I worked at Charterhouse. And I asked the person who told me that, go and ask the person that, do you know when I stopped working at Charterhouse? I stopped working at Charterhouse almost 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So this past 8 years that I was still doing music, how come they never put me on the platform? And how come even when I was working there, they never put me on the platform? I just believe that it's time. I mean, God has groomed me to the point where it feels like, okay, this is the time for me to outdoor you. Because if I had, like, and I don't know, but I never really worried you about it. Even though it was painful,
Yeah.
I felt like, Charlie, you know what, then go back and go and work more.
Yeah.
Go back and go and work more.
Yeah.
So,
This one says, George, do tell Neil Kind that I've known him from infancy.
who is mentioning this name?
but that's your name. that have known him from infancy and solidly behind him. This is Bra Ofori. Glad he has come this far. Says the
Ofori,
name.
God bless you.
Yes, Bra Ofori. This one says,
Oh,
in
yeah,
fact,
I think I know who it is.
I find so much hope in Perez's songs. God bless you, Perez. I'm Hope from Udumasi Krobo.
Oh,
Hope says
Thank
he
God
finds
that
a
you
lot of
find
hope.
so much hope.
If his name is Hope and he doesn't find the hope in himself, but in your songs, then Charlie, you are going far. This one says, Abuaji, the name is George Quinn. What is that? In fact, my story is similar to that of Tego. Typical loud boy with no mentor, but today God has been good. Grace from Yellow inside Kufuridia. All right, Yellow, that's very good to know. This one says, George, Frank's story is such an inspiration to me and many young guys out there. I heard Hiwalelala for the first time at a time I needed to hear those words. I was so sure this was God speaking to me. I've been stuck to Frank's YouTube channel since. I have no doubt God will use him mightily to speak to many others through his craft. I pray consistency for him. Henry Phoebe sent that one. You can also send yours on 055 1111997. What are your hobbies, Frank?
Do I even have some? I think I spend a lot of time working on either mixing or mastering. So the thing is, most of my songs are mixed and mastered by myself.
Yourself.
So realize that now my mastering has become.
Oh
better.
yeah. It's much better.
Yeah, but we still have a long way to
There's
go,
still
but
a
we are
journey.
still getting
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
there's still- there's
So
still-
yeah,
there's
I
still
spend. I think, yeah, that's what I do. But I want to. I'm realizing that I'm getting some food, so I want to start going to the gym.
Yeah, green fat. I was about to say that.
I want to start going to the gym. So maybe
Yes.
that I might find a new hobby in the gym.
Aerobics,
Aerobics, yeah, or maybe the treadmill or something.
We are speaking to the man, Frank Tego, the man you know as Perez Music. Here is one of his songs.
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7. Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
Hello, what be? Why is it that these days when I'm singing them people are jealous?
George Quinn.
Charlie, Frank. Yeah. When I'm singing, people are worried. Why?
No comment.
We are not worried.
You are
George,
not.
our lovely programs director
Yes.
sent me a message.
Yes.
She says, Uncle Ken, Ajua Pra is a lecturer at NAFT.
Yeah.
She's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Very dedicated and committed to supporting young people.
Very, 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 very. Yes. We've also been joined by CEO of 3 Music Network, Sadiq Abdullah Abu, aspiring Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture.
I beg you. Mark D.
Oh, no, but
We do
I
it
said
for what?
aspiring
Aspiring.
Yes, you are not aspiring. You don't have
wait for a party to come to power.
because me
that's the most important thing.
Because even me, I'm aspiring.
I can't aspire until my party's in power.
My other brother is also aspiring.
Let my party help my party to come to power first.
say that again.
Help my party to come to power first.
No, me, I'm going independent too. Yeah, George Quay for president.
Yeah.
You can win.
But we are no more maintaining the presidential right, are we?
Oh, we have to. I mean, after all, no. Once you break the 8, anyway, let's move forward.
Even with the 2 and the other one, they are
no. Once we break the 8, I mean, the rest is doable.
No, doesn't agree. Height mates.
Amaya, are you breaking 8?
We are waiting to see. We are waiting to see how it goes.
Amaya, you are not breaking the 8?
Well, not me. It will take more than me to break.
But will you be breaking the 8 if you had the opportunity?
Well, let's wait and see.
I just noticed Uncle Ken today is wearing some very
nice stock. It no be easy. Me self I see I keep quiet.
Lately Uncle Ken slippers they wear for him. Small.
Why are you like that? Uncle Ken's fashion of late no be small.
Let's go on it too.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Go play that back in stock.
No more life. Perez, are you breaking 8? Are you breaking the 8?
What you're saying. What are you talking about?
Are you breaking the 8?
I have no idea what you're talking
Okay, you let's leave
It's
it there.
breaking through.
Yeah.
The gospel music.
Uncle Kent,
Yes.
are you breaking the 8?
I'm just looking forward to breaking the 7.
Okay, then that's
Liverpool.
that's
7,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, Liverpool, but unfortunately they are losing this evening. Yeah. Oh, Perez, is Liverpool not losing? Real Madrid is winning, right?
I beg.
See, Uncle Ken, you should have won the Liverpool jersey. You didn't want to upset George.
I
You
want
saw George,
excellent now, so I beg.
Upset George Quay.
but he wants to upset you.
All right. Let's Sadiq, you're welcome. How was your week?
Well, it was cool.
Yeah, I love the jersey you're wearing. I mean, that's what phobia.
Accra
Team dear no any phobia.
Crowds of folk.
Team dear no any phobia.
The best club in Ghana.
Yeah. Hey, we're all phobia. Amaya, are you also phobia?
I'm Core United.
Is that team still in?
I wonder myself.
I haven't heard of them for ages.
Perez, I mean, you two be phobia, right?
Yeah, of course.
Definitely. Yeah, in spirit and in truth, we are there.
Can you be
Okay. This one says, let me take a few messages, then we come back. Hello, George. We bless God for his grace and our brother's ministry. Please ask him if he knows the right word. If he knows the right word is pana and not panaku. The latter connotes negativity. Gabini, North Legon. Okay. That's education there. Congratulations, Frank. You are an inspiration from Bra Edem. Okay. And this one says, okay, we've read that one. This one says, George, Tego is doing well, but please tell him that Panaku Konode, so it should have been Pana in his song Blematessa. Okay, so we would have to do a remix so that we can correct it. Yeah. Why? This one says, good afternoon, presidential height. This kind of convo makes me miss Kwame Rasta a lot. How's he, by the way? Nana Kwesi. Kwame Rasta is doing great. He should be joining us maybe next week or the week after. He'll be joining us soon. He's doing very, very well. But do remember him in your prayers. When you hear people say you're giving Joe Metal, a hell of competition, Eric, the question is not completed, but I think what he means is, do you get that? Do people tell you that?
Yeah, I get that, but I
mean, Sadiq, your microphones are still live, so please hold on.
I hear people say that, but I mean, it doesn't hold water because the Bible says the harvest is many, the laborers are few. There's a lot of people out there that need saving. There's a lot of people out there that need to hear the word of God. Joe is doing his part. I'm also going to do my part, and I'm just praying that God will raise more people, even greater than myself. So I'm not in. It's not a competition. It's labor. This thing that we are doing, so it's not like somebody sitting somewhere enjoying, and you have to be jealous or think about competing with the person. No. If you start like that, you shot yourself in the foot.
Lovely. We're going to go into our main conversation for the day shortly. It's got to do with the e-levy, and it's part of the things that I posted. You are in a space now where you guys have an opportunity to put out your work, share it with the rest of the world globally. You do a song in your studio today, and in 10 minutes, that song can be everywhere in the world through the digital platforms available. Some 20 years back, you would have had to now go to Newtown, cut a CD, now go to Cantamanton, look for Despite. Or Big Ben, or somebody, you know, Sibex or any of those, you know, and then you now go and distribute. In those days, the only label we knew was Megastar. And there was another one, Megastar.
Madhouse.
No. I beg drink water.
Let me drink plenty water.
Drink plenty water.
Slip music.
There was Slip Music, but Slip Music was it really a label? Slip Music was more a
In the
studio
90s,
in the 90s. Oh, okay, all right. Zap Mallet, right?
Where was VIP Dems? There was this.
No, Slip Music was Mac. Yes,
Slip
yes.
Music.
Honorable Marco Kirkman say sorry. Zap was Title Track. That was a studio. So Slip Music was a record label. Good. Yeah. I mean, today you have an opportunity to put your work out everywhere in the world. Does it translate into revenue that same way for you?
Are you asking me?
Yes, you are the musician.
No. If you understand how streaming and those things work, it's not like how if somebody buys a physical copy of your CD, let's say if he's buying it for 20 CDs, you know that out of the 20 CDs, maybe like 40% is coming to you. But when it comes to streaming, it's a different calculation altogether. It's a lot of complex, and even when it comes to even YouTube ads, you can have it's not the fact that an ad is played on your video doesn't mean that automatically you're going to earn a certain
revenue.
Like it's a whole stream that there's a lot of dynamics to that you
The
need to
algorithms.
understand. Algorithms playing
it's
at
complex.
play for you to understand as an artist. So it doesn't work like that like those days. No, this time it's different. This time I believe it actually takes a lot of work. And you cannot do it by yourself. When I say you cannot do it by yourself, you need a lot of support. Because you need a lot of people pushing the song, you need a lot of people coming up, a lot of thinkers around you, because you have to come up with a whole lot of creative bars around what you're doing. If you just think you are doing music to leave it there, it might even hit, but it will not give you as much as you want. And now it's even important that you get people reproducing what you have produced in a certain way, in a different way. Like if you have people doing other versions of your song, doing dance with your song, it actually helps you as the artist and brings some form of revenue to you than just your original song out there. So it's a whole different game now. Like the dynamics are different.
The government has introduced e-levy because they want to develop the country, and rightly so. We all have to pay taxes. They have identified a way to take, not in a negative way, but quoting Shakespeare, their pound of flesh from your works, and not just you, all of us. Could it be that if you're saying that it's a lot difficult more to generate revenue as compared to those days, it's because you guys are probably not finding a creative way to generate revenue from what you're doing and putting it out there? Think about it. Let me go to Sadiq, who has been doing boom play and all those things and has been playing in the space. I mean, some have really opined that, look, the money is there. The musicians are just not being, or the creatives are just not being creative enough to go and get it. I mean, government knew the money would be there in the creatives. That's why they put e-levy there. And e-levy in all big, globally, it's a global thing. It's not just in Ghana that has been introduced. Maybe the way it was, I mean, like it's not like it is only in Ghana that it is being charged. You understand? There are other countries that are practicing it too.
There are a
You
lot of
understand?
countries that are doing well that is not there.
No, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you understand? And so the point is that, like others have opined, is it that people playing in the creative space have just not been creative enough to find ways to generate their revenue? Because like Perez said, if his song plays on YouTube and there's an ad there, why should he not earn money instantly? Why should they now calculate it has to be this, it has to be that, it has to be that, it has to be that?
Yeah, so it's algorithms. It's the way it works. Streaming works on what you call the volume trade. So obviously, the more you get, the more streams you get, the more money you make. In some instances as well, because of the pressures of the commerce of the platform, they have to determine other ways for people to fairly get money. So for instance, for YouTube, now they have to go in and break it down by how many subscribers you get, for instance, and then where you're getting a lot more of your attention and where the ads are coming from. Understandably, for a lot of the brands and organizations that are in more mature markets like the US and all of those things, YouTube and co are getting almost about 80% of the advertising budget from these parts anyway. So they found a way to place premium on where these advertising budgets are coming from in the first place, and then looking at the people that it's having to target. So I mean, out here, if you look at the back end, you'll probably realize that there are some countries where he has a lot more following. You know, so depending on where these following are coming from, the subscribers he has the calculations, there are some calculations that will determine how much it makes. So it's not like a one size fits all where if I'll get, let's say, 2 CDs per stream, it means that Perez will also get 2 CDs per stream. No, it will depend on his numbers, his subscribers, the total numbers. When you go on YouTube, for instance, and you go to the about, when you go to the about, you check, you can see the total stream somebody has gotten from a particular period to a particular period. All of these things count in how you get it. Other platforms too are different. So it's not like a one size fits all. But generally, the way it works is that if you're able to get so much more streams on YouTube, Spotify, let me use the big ones that resonate here: Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, Boomplay. Audiomack it's a freemium model, more or less. So there's no match on it. And then if you are going to use the Pandoras, in fact, till now, even TikToks are finding ways and means to actually even pay for a number. I saw that Camilo got about 100 million streams last month from TikTok, for instance. They're finding ways and means to also pay. So these are it. And essentially, if you look at it, because we went through a transition phase for some time, musicians, your arts people here in the business, were just about coming to terms with exactly how the space works, and how they have to engineer all this volume trade, and then the e-levy comes in. So yes, they were fully understanding it. It wasn't everybody that understood how it works, and again, even those that have fully understood it, you require a certain level of budget, and like you said, it's a serious business now. And he was making a point about you need thinkers. You need people to sit down, think about the theme of the song, which theme works at a particular point in time. You need to understand the audience base
and how it can be deployed in other
Gen
ways.
Zs, they are millennials. These are the themes that works for them. When you drop the song, you need to go through pretty much essentially what we did for Black Sherry for Kweku the Traveler. There was a lot of thinking that went in that says activated at the 3 Music Awards. When it comes in within a 2 or 3 month, let it come in here, do a TikTok campaign, run it here, run it there, and then you evaluate after this particular 2 months before you put out the video. There's actually even a remix that may possibly even come. It's all like a well thought out strategy to ensure that you get a certain effect. So it was not surprising, for instance, that you will get you get more streams from Shazam. You get all of those things was perfectly put together and engineered. Today more than ever, you need all of that to get that most important volume trade. But of course, if you look at the things that people would use to sign up, a Boomplay at a certain point in time were exploring using mobile money for people to sign up. Aside what we call the cards, the gift cards. Now I'm thinking they would bring back the cards conversation, because of course, even when it was mobile money, it was a limiting barrier. Then now there's a socio-economic problem, one, and then now there's another limiting factor, which is e-levy. So then now I foresee them and almost all of these platforms, if they are having to go away or prevent the whole e-levy challenge, they would have to issue out the cards, just like where you buy your gift cards, so you can be a subscriber, But essentially, when you download now and you go on, there are people that can sign on as free, that have it, that can listen to the songs for free.
Okay,
that they will play ads for you.
Hold the thought there. Now, prior to e-levy, were there other taxes that creators were? Have you had to pay any taxes digitally for using the space and all those things prior to e-levy?
Yeah, I think it came to a point where even YouTube was introducing tax, especially on views that were coming from I think America.
So they were introducing taxes on those ones.
And
okay.
They continuously are bringing in all of these elements because they've realized that people are making money and there's an avenue for them to actually
cash in.
But the model is different. The model of the tax is different.
So, no. But let's not even tax is tax. Either model
so
or either way.
In their instance, the tax they pay. So even Nigeria was considering what they call significant market share or something, where once they identify that from their airspace, identify that certain platforms are running a lot more transactions from the country, right? These organizations were giving like corporate taxes for them to pay.
Yeah.
So if YouTube is not paying taxes directly to Ghana, once you identify that YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms, there are a lot more of those e-commerce platforms. there are a lot more transactions they are running within a particular country enough. There's a certain threshold they got to which they identify as significant market share. Within that instance, so once you are tagged as one of those SMP brands, the government will tax you corporate taxes. And so that's why I said that the model is different. It is unlike this one where the consumer is actually taxed for their transactions. It is organization that gets taxed. So if government was thinking of a way of taxing YouTube and all the e-commerce platforms, for instance, and they figured out that, okay, the way to do that was mobile money, no. And mind you, in Nigeria, mobile money is now actually even getting it. They've got the digital banks and stuff like that. So in the US and all of those things, these organizations pay tax. So it behoved on the government to find a way to ensure Facebook, e-commerce platforms, YouTube and co that were running transactions in this town pay their corporate taxes. If the idea
but
was
I
that
think
they
I
were
heard
now
the
from there.
deputy minister. Fortunately, he's going to be joining us. I think I heard Honorable Marco Kumante mention that was going to be the next level. That YouTube, Facebook, and all. I don't know.
I think I've heard
Yeah,
you
he did
mention
say
that.
that. Yeah, he did mention that.
Yeah, so
well,
so the model is different. It's totally different.
Sadiq,
from
you
the-
are a creative. Are
Yeah.
you happy about e-levy?
Oh, of course, I followed it because it affects
You're
me.
happy about it. You're comfortable with it.
I can't be.
You can't
but you don't have an option. This is why I said I can be. You know, last week I said to you here that we are observing a certain trend. Already between January to November, there's absolutely no event. I'm waiting to be proven wrong. Commercial events that's seeing positive ticket sales. You can use a bigger one. You can use V3 Music. I was checking with Teresa with VGMA. No. So we are realizing that, and I think it started off from we started monitoring that from last year. In fact, even the nightclubs have changed their models. Previously, if you had to go to Twiz, Bloomba, and all of those places, you have to pay an entrance fee first and foremost before you get access. Now, a lot of them are changing it, where it's mainly
You come in
make your
free, you
reservations,
buy
you come in
drinks.
free, you buy your drinks and everything. So already, there are a lot of factors affecting the ticket sales. One is the rise of digital media, which is competing for attention in terms of entertainment experiences. Two, socioeconomic situation in the country, because where there's a certain struggle and you are in a survival mode, entertainment suffers. Then obviously now you cannot, because e-levy was just introduced within a month, so you cannot actually attribute it to e-levy. No, of course nobody can do that. But you're understanding that if this trend is anything to consider, obviously if e-levy is a big, it would affect. And already if you look at the entertainment sector, we adapted. When the sports people were saying, when they launched their ticketing platform, a lot of us in the entertainment industry were laughing at them like, this thing, we've been on it for more than 5 years. Almost all last year when you saw Samini Fest, it was
Samini experience.
Samini experience. It was almost 100% digital tickets. Almost all of us have moved on to that. We've adapted. So if we get to a point where already there's a certain inertia or lethargy in the system that's affecting ticket sales, and if this will come, and if this proves to be a limiting factor as well to it, that means we're in trouble. We're in real
Interesting.
real deep problem.
We need to get some education on the
Yeah.
e-levy. Then Amel, you're a creative. Are you happy about it?
Well, I don't think anybody's happy paying
Taxes.
taxes.
Any form of taxes at all.
What a question.
I don't think anybody's happy.
But why wouldn't you want to support a thing like e-levy as a creative?
Well, I think I made a statement somewhere that I get it that a lot of some of the sectors are not taxed properly, or they're not paying taxes, and so I understand. And I have established my business in the way that I pay taxes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so now that a lot of some of the money that I'm earning is even coming through mobile money, I'm forced to forego that formal way, and I now say that, all right, I'm only going to depend on this, and then naturally they're going to take their taxes. I don't have to.
Yeah.
If that is a good thing, then I'm for it.
Then you're
because, going through books and it's quite stressful. And if the government understands that, yes, this is where everything is going this way, and they don't want me to now go and do the other one, then I'm sort of cool. Because, yes, and I was swerving out of the taxes that way. The money that come through my Momo, I don't think I account for it in terms of paying taxes. So in a nutshell, that's what I would say. And I sort of did some sort of polls when it was happening, and people are not so opposed to it, but they also are sort of tired as to how monies are being wasted. People are chopping our money left, right, center. And I think that is one of the things that a lot of the people have issues.
So it's not that people are opposed to it per se. They're just more worried about what it.
But then people also want to find, if you are taking this money,
what is it going to be used
what is
for?
it going to be used for? Is it going to be used for what it's meant to be?
Perez, as a creative, what are your thoughts on it?
Like the exact point I was going to make is what Ameya is making.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think paying taxes is anything. There's nothing wrong with it. But the question is, will I get value for the money I'm paying? I mean, the ones that we're already paying, what is it being used for?
The roads,
our transportation system is not working. I don't know when the last time you sat in the trotro. I still take trotro sometimes when I have to, and it's not working.
How is it not working? When you take it, doesn't it go?
George, Charlie, it goes.
Doesn't it go?
You see, you sit in the car and then you look at the conditions of the car and you realize that if this car should enter into or should have any form of accident or anything, people are going to get injured. Like people will just die for no reason because the people are packed in the cars like sardine. You go to the hospitals and it's not, the system is some way.
Hold that thought right there. Perez, if government should come out today and say that trotros that are not in this state, ABC, or they are trotros that are, say, older than 10 years.
Don't see what I want to say.
No, hold on. If you have a trotro and it's 10 years, it's older than 10 years, it's more than 10 years old, packets. Do you think people are going to be happy?
George, when this government was about to pass e-levy, people were not happy. People complained, but they passed it.
So you believe certain hard decisions need to be taken?
I think if they have to, you see, we shouldn't think about today or tomorrow. Why are you making me talk politics? I mean,
no, you're not talking politics. We're talking because where Frank is going. A lot of people have opined it, but is Ghana ready for the pain that it would come
George,
with?
We have never
because
been
a lot
ready
of
for
people
anything.
are going to be out of jobs. Look, there are certain trotros. There used to be some Willowbrook. It used to run from Kaneshi to Odoko.
We were just talking about
You were just talking about the Willowbrook. Kaneshi to Odoko. Some of them are still there.
They are still there.
I heard a lot of them are owned by policemen. I don't know for sure how true it is. If those Willowbrooks should pack, do you know the number of people who would walk?
George,
that's why I said don't see what you want.
That's the thing. I'm not the one.
You see,
at some point,
we are here to see which government will have a political will.
But
Because
the thing is it going to be possible? That is
what
the
is
question.
possible?
Let me go to the phone lines so we get a better education on this e-levy. I've got Mr. Patrick Frimpong Danso. Mr. Patrick Frimpong Danso is a member e-levy technical committee. Hello, boss.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good, and you and your panelists.
Yes, thank you very much. Let us just go straight into it. What is e-levy, and why must we pay?
Oh, okay. E-levy, if you look at the e-levy, what we are talking about, e-levy is basically electronic transfer levy. That is the whole thing about e-levy. So the name itself tells you what we are taxing. It's electronic transfer levy. So it means that when there's a transfer electronically, then the e-levy comes in. And we have got some kind of exclusions and then exemption. One of them is that when you are transferring the money to your own wallet, let's say you are moving money from one wallet to another wallet, it's free. You don't pay the e-levy. When you are moving money from, let's say, your bank account onto your wallet, it's also free. Okay, so there are a lot of exclusions. Now, where we charge is that, assuming I'm transferring money from my wallet onto your wallet, if the amount is less than 100 Ghana cedis, it's free. So we tax you only after the 100 Ghana cedis. And the 100 Ghana cedis is a day. Every day we are giving you 100 cedis free of charge. So assuming I wake up this morning and I transfer, let's say, 80 Ghana cedis to you in the morning, it means that I'm not going to pay e-levy. Then let's say in the afternoon I decide that let me transfer 50 Ghana to your producer. Then the system will now say that, okay, you have transferred 80. If you add the 50, then it's 130. Then the e-levy will be on the 30 Ghana cedis. That's how the e-levy is charged.
Let us
That's all.
Let us come to our creative sector. Look, a lot of people in this space are already struggling. And you would know that a lot of us in the creative sector transact our stuff digitally, electronically. I mean,
Sure.
these days, a lot of our cinemas were shut down. Really, the only proper cinema we have around is the one at the Silverbird. The Constellation Go Bliss, the Globes, the Roxys, the Palladiums, all of them have turned to churches. So now a lot of our filmmakers are going digital. There's the Sparrow Film Studio. There is all these other platforms. Farmhouse has one. I've forgotten what it's called. You know, they have all these. So if I want to watch, I have to pay and watch online, digitally. You're going to, that's going to be affected by e-levy, isn't it?
Now, now this is how. Maybe let me explain this. If you take, let's say, I don't know, maybe is it one of the panelists from I think Trade something? Yes, a company that is entertainment.
Yes.
Okay. Then mostly I know that when you are making this payment, you are asking people to pay you through this kind of platform. You go for maybe a merchant account. I'm sure.
Yes,
Okay.
sometimes.
Yes, so good. That's a very good start. Now, let's say you go for a merchant account for, let's say, GTB, and they give you a merchant account where people can send money, or you go to a merchant account from, let's say, MTN, they give you a short code. Now, once you have the merchant account, that's the first step for exemption. The next step is that once you have a merchant account, the next one is that your company that you are using, have you registered with GRA, and you have registered to comply with either income tax or VAT. If the answer is yes, it means that anybody who will transfer money from their wallet or their bank account onto your platform, your code, is exempt.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's called specified merchant payment. And the law has defined what a merchant is. A merchant is simply a commercial entity that has registered with GRA for the purpose of income tax or VAT. So that is one. Now, if you have a merchant code, any of the, let's say, the EMIs. The EMIs are the MTN, Momo, and then or Vodafone Cash. Once you have that merchant with them, it means that they created a code for you for your company. Now, your company must register with GRA for the purpose of income tax or VAT. Meaning that if I want to buy tickets from you, and I go to that platform of making payment to you, transfer money from my wallet or my bank account to your short code, and once you qualify as a merchant under our law, it means that transaction will not be taxed. So your audience will not be taxed when you are doing you are buying ticket from you online and they are paying from their wallet.
Interesting. So It means the very first step is that whichever third party I intend to engage to handle my e-ticketing for me must have a merchant account.
Yes, that's how the first thing is like. The merchant account is very important, but that one doesn't give you automatic exemption. The next level, which is where the exemption is that you have to register with GRA for the purpose of income tax or VAT. And that registration is in quote. The registration is not just registering, but complying with all our tax laws.
Hold on, Mr. Frempondanso. Who should be registered? Is it me, my company, say Image Brew or say 3 Music or amayaldebra.com, or should it be the third-party ticketing company that I'm engaging? Who should be registered with VAT?
It
with
should be
GRA?
you yourself, the company, the person that the ticket belongs to is the person who's supposed to register.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
If that company must register with GRA, because one, your agent you can use your agent, but what we'll have to find out is that now this agent, you are not the company. You are just being used to do that one. That company that you are working on behalf of that company, has that person registered, that company registered with GRA for the purpose of income tax or VAT, and they are complying with our tax laws, then voila, you are in.
Right. That's interesting.
That's why we will not give that exemption, yes.
That is interesting. So does it mean that if I'm going to say organize an event today, I mean, naturally, every time we organize an event, we engage you. GRA send representatives to come to the gate, monitor tickets, and all those things. So does it mean that henceforth, as part of that engagement, we would have to declare that, and we are hiring Perez Company Limited to handle the ticketing, and we want to ensure that our patrons, how do we ensure that our patrons are not going to be, because the electronic levy is instant. As soon as you purchase the ticket, it's deducted. So how can we advertise or even mention to our patrons that for this event, if you buy your ticket online, e-levy is not going to affect it? What do we need to do?
Okay, so let me take it from where you started. Now, when you want to do any event, you inform us and then we come. That one is purely VAT.
Yeah.
It's not yes, purely VAT. Now, if you are organizing let's say a program and you say that, okay, before you know that one you have registered with GRA for the purpose of income tax or VAT, you have a merchant account. Then when you are putting out your advert there, you said that when you pay online, you are not going to pay e-levy because one, GRA, we have exemption for GRA because we are a merchant and we are going to use the specified merchant account to do that transaction, and you will not pay any e-levy.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yes.
Very, very interesting. I think I like it because this education wasn't out.
What we need to do is that you make sure that you are in good standing with GRA. You have all your data up to date, your registration, you are paying your taxes and everything. And once you have the merchant account for any of the charging entities, which is either the banks or the EMIs, then you qualify. Anybody who do business with you and is paying through transfer means, that person will not be levied.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. All right. I mean, let me. It's a very interesting conversation. Let me bring my panel members into the conversation. They also have a few questions. Uncle Ken. Yes. Mr. Frimpong Danso is on the line.
Mr. Frimpong,
giving some good education.
Thank you very much for your submission this afternoon. You've cleared a lot of things for us. But I want to ask you something. If I am purchasing something online, how do I know if that company is registered with a merchant SIM? Because what happens is, since e-levy was introduced, I have bought one or two items online and I have ended up paying e-levy to those companies.
No. It means
so I want to know whether I am still supposed to pay the e-levy even if the company I'm buying from is registered with a merchant SIM.
Okay. So this is how it looks like. Now, there are two things. There are two entities that you can find online when you are buying this. There are one company that is, let's take a typical example, like let's say Kuala. You want to buy something online from Kuala. Now, and they have a merchant account, and you are using that one to make the payments. Now, Kuala, we know they've registered with GRA, and we know that they are paying their income tax, and they're also doing their VAT. So with that transaction, you're not supposed to pay. Now, the challenge we are having right now is that GRA has developed what we call a common platform. That common platform is where anytime you do any transfer, all the charging entities have to come to either banks, the EMIs, the payment service provider. They have to come to that platform to verify whether this transaction must be e-levy or not. But what we have right now is that we started on 1st May. Most of the charging entities were not ready to connect their system to our platform. So we are having difficulty in doing that one. Because as it is right now, they are charging on their own. So if let's say you go and take MTN, let's say MTN is your merchant or your principal, and you are doing a business and you go and buy something from Kuala, and Kuala is MTN, then that one you will get exemption because MTN knows that in Kuala is exempt because we know Kuala as registered with GRA and they are paying income tax or VAT. But assuming you go and then Kuala is using a Vodafone cash code, Vodafone, it means that MTN will say that this one, if you are paying with MTN will say that I don't know this account that you have, whether it's exempt. So our common platform coming 1st July will sort out all these issues that we are having. But even if you are charged, you can make a case to the charging entity that, please, this charging entity, Kuala I bought this thing from, I know they pay their income tax, they've registered with you, yet the transaction I was taxed, which falls under specified merchant payment. Therefore, please, can you reverse that the levy for me? It can be done, but you have to go through a process before that one can be done.
Okay, very interesting.
Okay,
yes. Pretty interesting. Sadiq, Amy, or would you like to?
I want to find out why didn't they wait for everything to be together before rolling out?
Yeah.
Because
what do you mean by everything be together?
Because like you're saying, they have a platform. It's not linking everything together yet. We have to now go to June or July before everybody signs on board. I mean, if you're taking over, why don't you take over
with
everything together?
I mean, sometimes things don't work that way.
Yeah, sometimes systems. I know systems are many times. Sometimes you don't have the full everything, but you still start with something because you know that also government needs some revenue. So as long as we wait, they will also losing revenue. So it's one of the things that right now what they are doing is that the charging engines are deducting the money from the transaction, and then later they will come and account to us at the end of the month. So that's how we start. Just like when you have your PUIE. Your company will deduct your PUI and at the end of the month come and pay to GRA. That's the nature that we are having. But going forward in 1st July, it means that every transaction GRA will have I in there, and they will advise the charge engine that this transaction you don't charge because this person we know him that company is paying income tax and VAT to us, and therefore don't charge any transaction that's coming through this platform. So these are some of the things that we are working, and we are working with them. We were ready. The system was ready, but some of them were saying that they need approval from maybe their mother company outside the country. They need their developers to come and tweak the system. There are a lot of things that we are doing right now. From Monday, we are meeting all the charging entities one after the other, and then we are going to tell us whether their readiness for the 1st July. And we are going to make sure that everybody will come on board on 1st July so that all these issues about this specified merchant, especially for the creative industry, you need this one. Once you have a merchant account and I'm buying tickets, I should not be levied because I'm using the specified merchant payment platform. So we want to make sure that this thing is done so that the industry too will grow.
It is very important. Uncle Ken, you wanted to ask one more? Yeah.
One more. Mr. Frimpong.
Yes, sir.
I want to come to the vendors. Mm-hmm. Now, there's this problem that I've been reading about online, about the vendors helping people to evade the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that the vendors are doing this?
Yes, I'll say, Ken, yes. A big yes. One, the vendor, anytime you go to a vendor, they are supposed to do only two things. One is take deposit, that is take physical cash and then put it on your wallet. That converting physical cash onto electronic cash. Onto you yourself, your wallet. You yourself, the person standing there, your wallet. The second one is to make to cash out, like to take money, or just like going to the ATM. So you are taking money from your wallet. So when you go, then they will take the money from your wallet electronically and then give you physical cash. These are the two main things they are supposed to do. But they are not supposed to transfer money to another person. Like when I want to send Ken, I want to send you money. Then I go to the vendor. I say it takes 500. Then I give your number to the vendor. The vendor will do and then do the transfer to you. Now we have heard that. We read and then we have heard. We know that they are doing it. And the first time we said that it's illegal, people were shocked. People were shocked because they never know that transaction. If you go to the vendor and say, "The vendor, take 500 to my mother. This is my mother's number," and they do it, it's illegal. They don't know. So we start raising the issue that it's illegal according to their own rules, and the EMIs can tell that it's illegal. They know. MTN, Vodafone, they know that this transaction is illegal. Yeah, these guys are doing. The guys are doing because when you go, they will tell you, "Oh, don't put the money on your wallet. If you put it on your wallet and you transfer, you get illegal. But when I transfer, I'm exempt." But which it's wrong. So from Monday, we are meeting the EMI, telling them that if they don't enforce that one, we ask Bank of Ghana, who is the regulator, to come strongly on them because it's illegal because they don't want to use that. People can use that one for money laundering. That is one of the main problems. So we don't want that one to occur. And there's a technology that may be going for we were employed. Now with this technology, when you go, assuming I go there right now, I'm in Tema. I go to a vendor, I say, "Okay, take Ken's number. I'm transferring 500 to Ken." Once they try to do the transaction, the system will check whether Ken's number is within a radius. And for the telcos, they have it. All the sales side will tell where the phone is. So when the system doesn't see the phone around the radius where you are doing the transfer, it will fail. And we are thinking that this is where we have to go and force the people to make sure that they don't do the illegal thing. And we have complained, but what the telcos tell us is that when they see that you are doing that, they block the number and they will take you off their system.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah, so it's a challenge that we are dealing with, and we know that after Monday, by Wednesday, we have to come strongly against those that are doing that. And people will be going to do this kind of, they'll go and see as we are doing transfers. If you are fan of doing that one, then they will arrest you. I remember one of my presentation in Kumasi, somebody said that he went to a vendor to transfer money to another friend, and the vendor said, "I won't do it." But he went to another vendor, the other vendor did it. So, there are some doing it, there are some not doing it. So we know, as you know, we have the bad nuts also in the system, and they are cashing in for this transaction.
Do some mystery shopping and arrest the bad nuts. That's all. That's all.
That's
Just
what I was
mystery
talking
shopping.
about. It's possible
Collect
that
them
we
from
need
the
to check
system.
the
Oh,
example.
yeah, just mystery stuff. Sadiq wants to come in. Sadiq, go ahead.
A quick question. I mean, even prior to e-levy, there was this flat rate that, particularly for events, we're paying on tickets per head. Obviously now, if most of the event organizers are registered with the GRA anyway, or even prior to event, they invite them to do the usual, check-in, and then they pay afterwards. So the question is this: if they register to create their own platform, or they use a ticket platform or a bank platform that is exempted, right? Would that still 3% kick in on the tickets that have been sold already?
You know, that one, I think that what we are trying is the VAT. The VAT is totally different for the e-levy. So as for that one, it is still it remains as it is. That one, nothing has changed. The e-levy is the one that is in focus when you are doing a transfer. For whatever you are doing right now, and then the rate, whatever the tickets around all this VAT thing, it still stands. That one, nothing has changed. It's only that when the person is transferring, for example, if like I'm transferring money to buy a ticket and you don't have a merchant account, I'll pay the e-levy. I will pay the e-levy, meaning that your ticket will be higher, the cost will be higher. But if you have registered and then you have a merchant account and you are with GRA, then that one. But for anything, if I'm buying the ticket that I'm buying include the VAT. So nothing has changed when it comes to what we are doing right now before the e-levy came in.
Okay, I think it's pretty clear. Gentlemen, any other before I let Mr. Patrick Frempong-Danso go? Any other? I think it's pretty clear now. Mr. Patrick Frempong-Danso,
Yes,
we'll say thank you very much. I mean, for us creatives, I think what needs to happen is that a separate kind of engagement with us would help, because there are other issues that we would not want to bring onto radio. Because look, creatives are always running into losses one way or the other, and that is because our industry is still growing. It's a growing one. So if there could be, we need to have engagements to find ways to give us some, tax reliefs and stuff like that. Let's help grow the industry so that together we can grow Ghana.
I think you can do that. I think the body of the creative house can come together and write formally to the Commissioner General that they want to engage to see some of the things that we can do for you guys. And I think the Commissioner General is always have a listening ear. He will look at it and give it to the technical guys to look at the law. Where can we help our brothers who are in this industry so that we move it forward?
Boss, thank you very much, and thank you very much for your time. We are truly grateful. Yes, and of course, his name is Mr. Patrick Frempong-Danso. He's a member of the E-Levy Technical Committee with the Ghana Revenue Authority. Thank you, sir.
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7. Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
Money from their likes on their post, whether it is their pictures or otherwise. Any likes on their social media page is money. Please ask Sadiq if he's got any idea how. Nana Kwesi sent that one in. Hey, people make money from likes on posts. I mean, if Ronaldo puts a picture and you like it, he gets money.
Engagements, yeah, some people make money.
And you're bad, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
particularly for the influencers.
you're quite well.
I think maybe it depends on the terms of the engagement.
The terms of it. So that is usually when it's a commercial.
Yeah, for a lot of the influencers.
Yeah.
It's often calculated with the per post for the influencers. If you do a number of posts on Instagram or this,
Okay. Please, Joy FM, don't change anything in the Ghana song George just played. It was given by the Holy Spirit, so it's absolutely correct. Call the songwriter to explain. The writer refers to God as an old-time strong fighter and warrior. Call another Ghana person to give you explanation further. It's different from Ada. Also, please don't change anything. I'm Margaret Tay Mrs. Yeah. The Panaku, that's the Panaku they are saying. So we shouldn't touch it. We are leaving it at Pana. She's given a perfect example, eh? Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Please, it's not condition to Odoko, it's circle to Odoko. Thanks for the Trot experts. Thanks for the correction. Please forgive us. George. So, George, please, what's the E-Levy man talking about? Is it now a crime for me to deposit money in his bank account? So how's my Momo account different? It's not transfer, it's deposit. Come on. Raffle inside Adenta, I think he explained that. Press. So for those who want to follow you, they want to follow your music, they want to experience it, where and how can they do that?
So it's Perez Music 233 is the same on all social media platforms. PerezMusik, then 233. 233 is the Ghana country code. Everybody was using GH. I wanted to use something different.
Change inside small.
Perez Music 233, and my music is on Spotify, it's on Boomplay, it's on iTunes, Apple Music, anywhere, any like of this online streaming platforms. We are there.
You did mention earlier that you were jamming from club to club. Where are some of the clubs you were visiting before you met God?
Warehouse.
Warehouse nightclub.
There was Warehouse.
Okay.
There was Boomerang, and then there was Roxbury. And then
Roxbury is Asylum Down.
Yeah, Asylum Down. But now I think
Roxbury is the most renovated nightclub in Ghana.
I think they've
because it's
changed the
closer
name.
to your family.
No. Almost every month they were rebuilding.
And then
that.
George, there was Indigo.
Yes.
Remember Indigo?
Please, I wasn't.
Where Pepper Pop is now.
It's just there close to that.
Yes, Pepper Pop.
But he knows what it was and what it knows now. That
I
means
swear.
it hasn't changed.
I have Pepper Pop, and then where Roxbury is, there's this fufu joint there. They call it Manguasi.
Yes.
I like that place. So anytime I finish eating fufu and I'm going, I pass by those places. Coach Ekbo Kewana.
But man, thank you. Amaya, what were some of the clubs you were visiting?
Well, I wasn't really. I told you before, I'm not really a nightlife person, but I went to Confidence's place.
No, but I used to meet. I worked at Foresight TV too.
Yes, you did.
I worked at Foresight, and I used to meet you at almost all the celebrities. So that's how come I spent a lot of time in these clubs, and I know all of them. I know
Ignis corrupted you.
Confidence's place.
Yeah.
Aphrodisiac,
and then D Black's.
Cinderella's.
And then the one they opened at Osu. Sister Coffee.
Yeah.
So some club there. It didn't really last for that long. Yeah. I used to meet you at almost every.
Yeah. So for me, it was always work related.
Yeah.
I remember. I beg, don't ask me some.
Oh, Sadiq, I'll ask you.
Don't ask me.
But let me open the phone lines. If anybody would like to speak to Perez, it's on 0302-216-541. 0302-216-541. Our phone lines are open. Sadiq, when you had dyed your hair, Cisco, which clubs were you going to?
I don't want to get any call from.
Oh, no. Nobody will call you.
When you're
Which
supposed to
clubs
read
were
your
you
Quran,
going
you're going to the nightclubs.
George,
Yes, Uncle Ken.
Yes. I think we all support.
We all support.
Why is Uncle Ken interested in this one?
No, but it was work. Okay, sorry. When you were managing Kaki, in one of the clubs was he performing?
What about before Kaki? Obviously, it was Boomerang and Aphrodisiac. Afro, at the time, it was at the airport.
Yeah.
Before
he moved to Jolu.
Jolu.
Yeah.
And then Twist, became a thing for a lot of us millennials. And lately, they will make slow. But because Bloom is owned by friends, sometimes I just pass by to see it. But in the last 2 years or year and a half, I don't remember going to the nightclub.
So why did you dye your hair?
Today I can't get me that.
Why did you dye your hair?
When or why?
Why?
Oh, Uncle Ken,
Because your artist too had dyed hairs.
Oh no, at the time she didn't even dye hair. At the time I was young.
She took after you.
I was young and wild.
Yeah, man.
I was like you in the 70s.
You were chilling. You were chilling.
No, you know Uncle Ken in the 70s, he had Jerry curls.
We're talking about you.
Perez has other engagement, so we're gonna let him go, and then we'll come back and have our conversation. Yes. I mean, I also would have to go, but don't worry, we'll still continue on that. I mean, and Perez, thank you very much for coming. I mean, congratulations on the magazine thing. We'll continue to wish you the very best. I mean, look, you are one of those that started this digital journalism business, and you've done pretty well. You've held the flag very, very, very high, and you're still flying very, very high. We wish you the very best. And those that do not know it, www.amayaldebra.com. That is the website. Then there's Amayal Debra on Twitter, Amayal Debra on Facebook, Amayal Debra on Instagram. Then there's Amayal TV on YouTube and Instagram. Right? I know, pal.
blogging.
Yeah. Yes,
Can
Uncle
I
Ken.
just say something before they leave?
Go ahead.
The presence of these two gentlemen in the studio this afternoon
Yeah.
is one of the reasons why I love coming on this show.
True.
To meet people like this.
Yeah.
You know, they are two people who are excelling in their fields.
Yeah.
And what I like about them is they're very private people. No, until you brought them here, Amayao is somebody who shies away from publicity. Yet he's into, showbiz.
So true.
Oh, but lately he doesn't shy away from the publicity.
Tell me I don't know that one.
Oh, because you've not been paying attention to the Twitter.
The replies.
It's a back and forth.
No, I'm
person
saying
now.
physically.
Physically, yeah.
Physically.
Yeah. He's very laid back.
Just like
He's
me,
very
Shaka
laid
Ali's
back.
friend.
Yeah.
My new best friend.
I just love people
Like
that,
them.
who excel in their fields and keep doing what they're doing.
What they are doing.
Good luck
Thank
to
you.
them all.
Thank you very much.
I mean, you and Sadiq, who's taller?
Sadiq is what matters is he has body. Me, I need that body. The height is not enough.
Who's taller?
I think
He's
you're
got a
possible.
longer neck.
Yeah.
I'm taller than him. He's just only got a longer neck.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
you
And
very much.
Perez, before you go, one thing I've never told him, when I was at Chatters, I was tuned on. Not that I was tuned on. I knew my stuff. I
You were what?
Tuned on, kakra.
You are what?
Tuned on.
Oh,
Yeah, kakra. And
all no.
yeah.
What that's the English word there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Any two.
and so sometimes when you get in your element, you will back and shout at people small. This gentleman never got angry anytime I yelled at him for anything. He never ever got angry. Oh, no, total feel it. Oh, okay. Oh, then that attitude alone is one of the reasons I've
Yes,
always
that's
loved
why
him.
he's where he is.
That's I've always loved him for that.
Nice
He was
one.
always calm, always collected. He would always take it in, and then he would get back and do that. I'm sure that's why our boss Nia Ite Hammond also loves him so much. And we'll continue to do our best to support and push you.
Kilometer is what so far
Keep
the
it up.
leading gospel song released this year.
Yeah, so far it's the
Wale
gospel
Lala.
song of the year.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, Wale
yeah,
Lala.
there was a message from the Table of Men. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, the Table of Men sent a message.
George, can I
who
go
sent
before you read it?
No, don't go.
Which
don't
of
go.
them?
Which of
Ninoy
them said-
Relax. I said, bruh, we encourage him not to relent. Myself and the Table of Men are fully behind him.
Ninoy.
He will trouble the
Oh,
waters,
Frankie.
so watch out. And that is coming in from Frankie 5.
Ah,
Yeah. Solid
thank
support.
you,
Solid
thank you very much.
solid support. So
But-
keep up.
but-
This one from Seth Meyer says, I like Perez. He should stay consistent and he will go very, very far. Seth Meyer is on Akwabua's team. He actually partook in the challenge. You
challenge,
actually
yeah.
edited that year's episode for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was the year Jojo Chatekwansa won, I think, the very
Yeah,
first
and I think
edition.
he was second.
Yeah, he was second. He was a runner-up. So you worked on that episode. Thank you very much again, gentlemen. It's been an honor having you this afternoon. And God continue to bless you. Yeah, we're grateful. Yeah, man.